stop studying the way you're studying right now. Because if your study method looks anything like what most students do, there's a very high chance you're quietly wasting a huge portion of your effort, up to 80%, without even realizing it. Think about how many times you've sat for hours studying, forcing information into your brain, only to walk into the exam and feel like everything has evaporated. The questions look familiar. You feel like you've seen this material before. But when you actually need it, you realize you can't really recall it. Most people learn how to study properly far too late. But by the end of this video, you'll understand how learning actually works and how you can save yourself years of frustration and wasted time. Picture something simple. Imagine you're trying to fill a bucket with water. You keep pouring water in, but the bucket is full of holes. No matter how hard you try, more water leaks out and spills away. It's exhausting. It feels unfair. That image is exactly what's happening to most students when they study. They sit down, put in long hours, try to absorb information, and assume that the more time they spend, the more progress they're making. But their brain only keeps a small fraction of that information. And the worst part isn't that the information is lost. The worst part is that they don't even realize it's being lost. To understand why, we need to go straight to the biggest mistakes that quietly destroy almost every study session. The first mistake is highlighting and rereading. Most students are completely convinced that highlighting textbooks and rereading notes is a good study method. It feels responsible. From the outside, it looks like studying, but the reality is much more uncomfortable. Research has repeatedly shown that rereading has a retention rate of around 10%. That means if you reread a chapter today, there's a high chance you'll forget about 90% of it within a week. The reason it feels effective is psychological. Your brain recognizes the words. The text feels fluent. But recognition is not understanding, and familiarity is definitely not memory. A simple example: if you watch a movie over and over again, do you become a filmmaker? No. You just recognize the scenes. Passive rereading does the exact same thing to your brain. The story feels familiar. You're exposed to the information again, but you're not practicing it. The second mistake is cramming the night before the exam. Almost everyone has done this. Staying up late, drinking too much coffee, and forcing information into your head, like trying to close an overpacked suitcase by sitting on it. And yes, sometimes cramming helps you pass the exam the next day, but it fails very quickly. A few days later, most of that information disappears. Your brain treats crammed information like spam emails. It recognizes that the information wasn't used, reinforced, or repeated, so it deletes it. Biologically, forgetting is efficient. And if you tell yourself, I just need this for the exam, here's the harsh truth. Students who actually learn the material deeply are always ahead in the long run. In class, in university, and later in their careers. The third mistake is passive studying. That means reading, watching, or listening without actually doing anything with the information. Imagine trying to learn how to swim by reading a book about swimming, then jumping into deep water and expecting to survive. You wouldn't. Yet academically, many people do exactly that. They read the book, they watch the video, they listen in class, and they assume learning has happened. But until you actively engage with the information, test yourself, explain it, or apply it, nothing sticks in your brain. Now that we know what doesn't work, the real question is, what actually does? This is where a fundamental shift happens. Studying is not about how long you sit at your desk. It's about how much of the information stays with you. Some people study for 3 hours and forget almost everything the next day. Others study for 1 hour and remember it for years. The difference isn't intelligence or motivation, it's the method. Most people treat studying as repetition, but real learning happens when the brain struggles. When it has to think, make connections, and retrieve information without seeing the answer. This is the game-changing principle. Retention matters more than consumption. Instead of focusing on how much information you put into your brain, you need to focus on how much you keep. This is where a simple but powerful framework comes in, something called the learning pyramid. At the bottom of the pyramid is reading. Retention, about 10%, meaning if you only read, most of the material fades quickly. Next is listening to lectures with around 20% retention. Watching demonstrations raises this to about 30%. But when you move into active engagement, something changes dramatically. Practicing a concept can raise retention to around 75%. Teaching someone else pushes it close to 90%. The pattern is clear. The more actively your brain is forced to generate, retrieve, and organize information, the stronger the learning becomes. Now we can turn this insight into concrete steps. Step 1. Active recall. If you want to remember more in less time, active recall is non-negotiable. Instead of passively taking in information, you force your brain to pull the information out. This retrieval process is what strengthens memory. There are two highly effective science-based ways to do this. The first is the Feynman technique. Choose a concept and try to explain it as simply as if you were teaching it to a 5-year-old. If you get stuck, that's not failure. It's a signal. It shows you exactly where your understanding is weak. You then go back to the source, clarify those parts, and refine your explanation until it becomes clear and coherent. Teaching forces the brain to organize information logically, and that structure makes future recall much easier. The second method is self-testing. Strong students don't necessarily study more, they test themselves more. Instead of rereading, they use flashcards, past exams, or self-made quizzes. They actively check what they remember without looking. In a real study, students who tested themselves before studying scored about 50% higher than those who only reread their notes. Testing is not the end of learning, it is the learning. Step 2. Spaced repetition. There's something most students don't account for. Within 1 hour of learning something, you forget about half of it. This pattern is known as the forgetting curve, and it explains why cramming collapses so quickly. Your brain is designed to delete information that isn't reused. But the enemy of learning isn't forgetting, it's poor timing. Instead of cramming everything into one session, you spread learning over time. Each review interrupts forgetting and strengthens the memory trace. A simple structure works. Day 1, learn the material. Day 3, a short review, about 10 minutes. Day 7, test yourself without notes. These intervals signal to your brain that this information is worth keeping. Step 3. Turn studying into a habit, not a crisis response. Most people don't lack technique. They procrastinate, panic, and burn out. 3 simple behavioral tricks solve this. First, the 2-minute rule. Instead of telling yourself, I need to study for an hour, say, I'll just read 1 page, or I'll review 1 flashcard. Starting reduces resistance. Once you start, momentum often carries you forward. Second, habit stacking. Attach studying to things you already do. After brushing your teeth, review 1 flashcard. After breakfast, take a 5-minute quiz. After dinner, summarize 1 concept in your own words. When studying is linked to existing habits, it becomes automatic, like brushing your teeth. Third, prevent burnout with the Pomodoro technique. Long, uninterrupted sessions make the brain resist. Instead, work in short focus blocks. 25 minutes of deep focus, 5 minutes of rest. Repeat 4 times, then take a longer break. Real productivity is synchronized attention. This structure works with how your brain actually functions. And now, the uncomfortable truth. Even the best study methods are useless if applied inconsistently. Most students rely on last-minute panic, and then wonder why nothing sticks. But the real pattern is simple. Small daily effort beats intense 90-minute marathons every time. Learning isn't about heroic bursts. It's about sending small, repeated signals to your brain that say, this matters. So instead of sitting down for another exhausting marathon session, take one small step and let consistency do the rest. And if you want to learn how to study up to 12 hours a day without burnout, using the correct system, your next step is watching this video.